YouTube, Savage here. So I wanted to branch off a little bit and do something outside the realm of my normal content, which normally was speedruns and such and the like, and uploading just general streams. So I decided, since I've been getting into Stardew Valley so much lately, why not do some challenge runs and bring them up here? So in particular, I decided to do a no livestock challenge run, so essentially no animals, almost like no animals, except I'm defining livestock as a particular type of animal that consumes hay or grass. So like certain animals are exempt, such as pets, cats and dogs, as well as horses, which are just a mode of transportation, and also fish, which behave a little bit differently. So the goal is community center, and in addition I have stretch goals, of course displayed here, and furthermore I'll be playing on Remixed Bundles and also the Four Corners farm, because hey, why not? It's a fun farm. I planted the 15 starting parsnips, gathered some resources, and cleaned the farm. I was hoping for mixed seeds but didn't get any. Notably, throughout this challenge I can cut grass without feeling guilty about it, since I don't ever have to worry about feeding animals. I placed my first chest and stored my resources inside. Then I foraged a bit and headed into town, finding a daffodil. I gave it to Abigail as a sign of wanting to date her in this particular playthrough, but I'm sure I'll find another one at some point for the community center. I also talked to a good portion of the villagers and bought some seeds from Pierre that may eventually be needed for the community center, such as green beans, cauliflower, potatoes, kale, blue jazz, and tulip. After some uneventful garbage can digs, and more meandering around town meeting more villagers, and even giving a few more daffodils as gifts, I returned home to plant the crops I got from Pierre. However, I was mostly spent, and I don't just mean with my money. Given that I had little energy left, I decided to prioritize the most important crops that I had to plant. So I decided to save the flowers for later and planted like the green beans, kale, cauliflower, and potatoes first. I think that's probably a good idea, right? And with the tiny bit of energy I had left, I decided to turn in early around 8 p.m. Today was the day I would decide to visit the beach and grab my fishing rod. I checked the TV and it was a pretty neutral day, not bad for fishing at all, to be honest. I watered my crops, did a little more cleanup on my farm, and collected a couple forageables and checked the trash cans as I made my way to the beach and get my fishing rod from Willie. Being broke, I put my fishing rod to use immediately, catching a herring and a sardine. I noticed some artifact spots and a clam on the beach and had another problem, my full backpack. I headed back to Willie to sell my fish and threw away a stone to make some sort of space. And I was able to buy the training rod, which would prove useful in the coming wild and more easily build up my fishing experience. I returned to the beach and dug up the spots, getting a dried starfish and some carrot seeds which would prove useful. I had to leave the clam behind, but I spotted Elliot as he left his cabin. I gave him the starfish, which he wasn't a fan of, but at least it freed up my inventory space. I could then get the clam, and also a second clam I'd found. I opted to head to the museum briefly and check the trash on the way, and I found a field snack by the blacksmith. Nice! Too bad I couldn't hold it at the time. I'd entertained the idea of giving another gift to free up my backpack, but I also badly needed money, so I opted to return to my farm. Back at my farm, I sold some things, but opted to keep a dandelion and a clam for the community center. I planted and watered my carrots and also the flower seeds that I'd gotten the previous day. I stored away the tools I didn't need, such as the bamboo pole. I opted to go to the mountains, finding a couple forageables along the way like a horseradish and a leek. I fished up a chub and a carp from the mountain lake and left. I remembered about the field snack I left behind that came out of the blacksmith's trash, so I went back to pick it up, interacting with a few villagers on the way. I fished a smallmouth bass from the river in town and returned home, and sold some of my stuff but kept the leek and horseradish for the spring foraging bundle. Since I had a bit of energy left, I cleaned my farm up a bit more, then went to bed. Overnight, I got to level 1 foraging, and got a small amount of money to spend. Spring 3 of Year 1 is guaranteed to be a rainy day, but in addition, upon checking the TV, it was a good luck day. Putting 2 and 2 together, I decided it was a perfect day to go fishing. Perhaps I could catch a catfish? Wishful thinking, I know. When I left the house, though, a crow had helped himself to a feast of a crop of mine. Thankfully, I think it was only a potato. Thank God. I opted to take my bamboo pole out to go fishing later, hoping to catch some fish that only appear during rainy weather. In the meantime, before things opened, I cut some trees around my farm for some more wood, when I found an artifact spot. Upon digging it up, I got a rusty spur. Clearly a museum trip was in order as well. On my way to the museum, I got a request from Pierre to get him green algae, and while he wasn't open today, I'd be fishing anyway, so I accepted. I donated the rusty spur, netting myself a bit more money as well. I then did some beach combing, leveling up my skills again, and found another artifact spot, containing another dried starfish. I head straight back to the museum to donate it, and not give it as a gift this time. I then fished in the nearby stream, finding both the green algae that Pierre wanted, and also the shad, one of the fish that only comes out during the rain, needed for the community center. A treasure chest appeared, but it appeared a little too late, sadly. I then opted to head to Cindersap Forest to collect forageables such as spring onions. Ironically, despite the spirits being very happy today, I didn't get a single spring onion. Whoops. So I headed back up north to the island in the middle of the river and fished there for the rest of the day pretty much. I didn't end up hooking a catfish, but he was too slippery for my low fishing level and got away. I also got pretty unlucky with treasure chest spawns and opted not to hook a single one, lest I lost the fish. Still ended up with a decent haul of fish though, and ended up storing some fish for possible community center bundles and the eventual grabbing of the fisher profession, but selling some others. I had a little time left before bed, so I checked the backwoods for forageables and found 2 horserashes that I sold before going to bed. Overnight, I earned foraging level 2 and fishing level 1 and some more money. Today was a neutral luck day, so I had no particular plans other than delivering the green algae to Pierre. I started by watering my crops and looking for forageables in Cindersap Forest, finding only 1 spring onion. So I chopped some trees and meandered around town while waiting for Pierre to open. I made my way to Pierre's and saw there was a help wanted quest to catch some catfish, which is what I was trying to do the previous day, but it didn't pan out. I accepted it knowing that I may not be able to do it, but hey, it would be nice to try. I delivered Pierre the green algae that he requested, and bought a few more seeds. I opted to get a few more potatoes and cauliflower for now. I went back to my farm, planting and watering the seeds I just got, and storing away a spring onion and maple seeds from trees I cut down on the way. It was at this moment I realized I almost had enough wood to construct the bridge at the beach, and knowing that I wouldn't need to build a coop or barn, I chopped more wood until I reached the 300 I needed. I then headed to the beach, fixed up the bridge, and loaded up on beach forageables. I also found some glass shards which led me in the direction of the museum. I checked the trash cans outside, but they didn't have anything useful, so I donated the glass shards to the museum and headed to Pierre's to give Abigail a gift. As far as I remember, I think she likes coral. But hilariously, Elliot was leaving the store and blocking my way inside, lol. So I headed back to the farm and stored or sold the beach forageables I got. Running low on energy, I decided to head to the mountains via the backwoods to forage. And I got lucky. I found 2 leeks and the final villager to introduce myself to, Sebastian. I tried to gift Robin one of the leeks, and despite having gifted her a couple of daffodils earlier in the week, it still completed the gifting quest, netting me 100 more gold. Sebastian was less than impressed with the leek as a gift. I did a little unremarkable fishing, chopped a couple trees on the way back home, sold a couple fish for money for the traveling cart, and went to bed. woke up with over 1,000 gold, a decently lucky day, and Marnie bring to me a stray orange tabby cat who I gladly adopted and named Frumpkin as a reference to Critical Role. Gotta love Caleb Littlegast, right? Moreover, my parsnips and carrots I'd planted were ready, and the mines were now accessible. Harvesting these increased my farming level to 1, which Scarecrow Crafty can't come soon enough. I was considering shipping my newly grown crops, but then I remembered it was a traveling cart day, so I hung on to them for the moment. I watered my crops. It was time for the moment of truth, the first traveling cart day of the challenge. She appears every Friday and Sunday carrying a whole bunch of random items for sale. In case any animal products appear in the community center bundles, I have to rely on her. Unfortunately, she wasn't selling too much that I couldn't get more easily elsewhere. I was tempted to buy the mayonnaise, since I'd likely have trouble finding eggs, but then I remembered it isn't needed for bundles. The Rare Seed 5 stack was also lucky, but it's easy to get them easily during other traveling cart days in spring and summer. So I opted to pass and save my money for the next traveling cart day. Better luck next time. While I was down in the forest, I did some foraging and fishing, however. I managed to get some Elvis jewelry from a fishing treasure chest, which I then donated to the museum. I gave a handful of villagers parsnips as gifts as well. After all, they're a universally liked gift for all villagers except for Abigail, Sam, Haley, and the kids. I also headed to Pierre's to buy more cauliflower and potatoes. I organized my inventory, planted and watered all my seeds, and then planned to delve into the newly opened mines for the rest of the day. I found a leak in the backwoods, which I gave to Linus. I got my rusty sword from Marlin and started going into the mines. Not a bad romp for my first time through the mines. I find a topaz on level 3, and we end up reaching level 5 of the mines. I also picked up a couple torches for my farm, since who knows when I'll get a glow ring. I left the mines at about 10:30 p.m., headed home via the backwoods, managed my inventory, pet my cat, and went to bed. Overnight, I earned level 1 farming, unlocking the scarecrow and basic fertilizer recipes. In addition, I also got level 2 fishing and level 1 mining. It was a neutral luck day today. I exited the house, and Clint was there to give me the recipe to create a furnace. After that, I find a chicken statue in an artifact spot, craft a scarecrow, and water my crops. I then head towards town, finding a leak by the bus stop, and then Lewis unlocks the community center for us. How convenient. I then interacted with a strange text in the community center, setting up a visit to the wizard the following day. Also convenient, since I'd be checking the traveling cart that same day. I headed toward the museum, giving George my leek on the way, a loved gift. I checked some trash cans and donated my chicken statue to the museum, collecting my rewards, the most important of which being 9 additional cauliflower seeds. I headed back home, buying a few more parsnip and potato seeds at Pierre's on the way back. Planted, watered, and fertilized my new crops, and also some mixed seeds that I found while cutting a few weeds on my farm. I then decided to head toward the mines. The mines were rather uneventful aside from finding an earth crystal, so I headed back to the farm and made a furnace to smelt my first of many copper bars. I slept, hoping for a good haul on the traveling cart the following day. It was a decently lucky rainy day, so I decided to try my luck and see if I could catch a catfish. I noticed my chest was starting to burst at the seams, so I promptly chopped a couple trees and crafted another one. I also harvested a potato, which I had a help wanted quest where Linus wanted one. How convenient. I checked the traveling cart again, and she was selling an important, potentially required item that I couldn't otherwise get without animals. Large goat's milk. However, I needed 1,035 gold, and was about 800 gold short. So I left with the intention of getting more money and coming back for it. In the meantime, I did some fishing and saw the wizard so I could pull the band-aid off the first few community center bundles. That cutscene is trippy every single time, man. I did a bit more fishing and foraging, then I went back to the farm to put away most of my tools, aside from my bamboo pole, and load my small backpack with things to sell to Pierre. I made a trip to the mountains first to give Linus that potato he requested, making up a fair amount of the money I was short by. I picked up a horseradish on my way back to the farm before heading to Pierre. I foraged a few more things at the bus stop and made my way to Pierre to hopefully get together the 1,035 gold I needed for the large goat's milk on the traveling cart. On the way, the Help Wanted board had an easy quest from Robin, who wanted 25 stone. Might be a good time to mine. Thankfully, I'm just barely able to scrounge enough money together, while still leaving some forageables for the spring foraging bundle. Things are looking up, so it's time we head back to the traveling cart and grab the large goat's milk we saw earlier. With that out of the way, we now head to the community center to check out what our Remixed Bundles look like. For the spring foraging bundle, it needs everything in the normal bundle, except a spring onion instead of a daffodil, which we're able to complete, netting us 30 spring seeds. As for the other bundles in the crafts room, we have the summer and fall foraging bundles, which are always the same. The winter foraging bundle needs holly instead of crocus, but is otherwise normal. And the exotic foraging bundle is as normal as well. We got the forest bundle, which just needs fiber, maple seeds, and acorns. None of the crafts room bundles should be particularly difficult. We can also check the other bundles we have access to, such as the pantry bundles and the fish tank. Most of the bundles we have in here, while slightly different from the usual bundles, which we also got the rare crops bundle, are not hard aside from the animal bundle. Thankfully, we got the large goat's milk just shortly ago, so I'll go ahead and donate it to the bundle. Because this will be one of the hardest rooms to complete in this particular challenge, it may be a while before we can use the greenhouse. Thankfully though, once Emily is a friend, she can send wool in the mail, mitigating some traveling cart luck. Lastly, we can check the fish tank bundles while we're here. It turns out it's mostly the same as the normal bundles, the only different one being the Master Fisher's bundle. Thus, I'll need to catch a catfish and eel at some point, both of which are available in spring while it's raining. As such, an idea strikes. Since it's raining today, why not catch them both? I head toward the stream near the entrance to the beach in town and try and catch a catfish, and while I struggle for a couple minutes, I'm successful. Let's go. I stay at this fishing spot until I catch a bream, also needed for the community center. I then head to the beach, and it isn't long before I find and catch an eel that I need. As a nice bonus, he had a treasure chest with a rare disc inside too. I'll fish her until about 10. So let's go ahead and donate my fresh catch of catfish, eel, and bream to the community center before I head back to the farm. There's still one thing I need to do before I head to bed. Taking advantage of the rain, I plant all my spring seeds and sell some things before I end the day. And what an eventful day it was! I swear they won't all be this eventful, but overnight I'd hit level 3 foraging. And now for a less eventful day. My kale for the community center is ready, so I'll go ahead and harvest it, as well as a tulip. I water my crops as usual, but it will rain again tomorrow. I cleaned the southwest corner of the Four Corners farm to get enough stone to fulfill Robin's Help Wanted quest. I also take stock of all the donatables I have to the community center and museum, and decide to make progress toward those. I go ahead and get Clint to crack open my geodes and donate various items I have to the museum, getting some melon seeds to jumpstart summer when that comes around. I then do some beach foraging and fishing for some extra cash, and happen to catch a sardine, another fish I need for the community center. I return to my farm to get a load to donate to the community center, but then I remember that I have to talk to Robin to get a prize ticket from her quest. But my inventory is full, so it just ends up on the ground. Whoops. Oh well, I guess I'll come back for it later. freeing up my backpack and making a big dent in some bundles, I returned to grab the prize ticket on the ground outside Robin's house, as well as a daffodil I couldn't get before. I then head to Lewis's house to redeem the ticket for 12 carrot seeds, and head back to the farm, finding more daffodils and cutting a few trees along the way. I plan to water a couple carrot seeds while storing the rest, and use the rest of my energy cutting trees and weeds on my farm to make progress toward the forest bundle before heading to bed. Funnily enough, I make 420 gold, lol, blaze it. The rain was falling again today. I pet my cat and checked the TV, and the daily luck was poor, and the only crop ready today was the blue jazz flower I planted. Yay. So I planted a carrot seed where it was. I opted to go lake fishing for a while, catching some fish needed for the community center, including carp, bullhead, and largemouth bass. I spent the rest of the day mining, which was pretty uneventful, though I did manage to kill enough slimes to enter the Adventurers Guild and upgrade my sword and sell some loot. Afterwards, I put copper into my furnace and headed to bed. I hit level 3 fishing overnight, and it was a decent luck day today as well. I threw some more copper into the furnace, and harvested a few parsnips and potatoes that were ready, and decent quality ones at that. There were also a few rice shoots ready. I replanted carrots in time to be ready for the egg festival. I'm looking forward to buying some strawberries. I opened a few geodes at Clint's, got sandstone, which I donated to the museum. I then did a little quick bit of beachcombing before heading up to the community center. At the community center, I donated a parsnip in my backpack. Only the cauliflowers needed to finish the spring crops bundle now. I head back to the farm and decide to spend the rest of the day mining. In the backwoods, I found an artifact spot hiding a lucky Jack Be Nimble, Jack Be Thick book. Nice. I'll go ahead and read that to raise my defense for an easier time in the mines going forward. My day in the mines is somewhat successful. While I didn't make any elevator progress, I did find an amethyst on floor 6 immediately upon entering. Very nice. If I'm gonna marry Abigail, she absolutely loves those. Emily does as well. Soon after, I find a few cave carrots, which is one of the options for the exotic foraging bundle. Thanks to depleted energy and a full backpack, I leave at floor 8. let's go ahead and go to the community center to donate the cave card I just got to the exotic foraging bundle. Then, let's go back to the farm. I throw some quartz into my furnace, sell a few things, and then head to bed. I make a decent amount of money overnight as well, thanks to the quality crops I sold. I woke to a bad luck day, a refined quartz and several crops ready, and a letter from Robin looking for her missing axe. I watered the crops and smelted more copper as usual. I had enough copper bars to consider upgrading a tool. Very nice. I visited Pierre's to check the help wanted board. Leo wanted an eel, but it wouldn't be raining, so I gave Abigail the amethyst, but held off on buying anything for Pierre at the moment, given traveling cart days and the egg festival were coming up back to back. I did some beach combing and fishing for a little extra cash, but opted not to upgrade the fishing rod yet. After returning to the farm to unload my fish into my shipping bin, I foraged in Cindersap Forest, cutting some oak and maple trees and getting a pretty massive spring onion haul. Nice. I ended up eating some of the spring onions to replenish my energy. Definitely makes up for previous days. I also found Robin's lost axe. After nearly exhausting myself chopping trees, I turned in for the night. Overnight, I hit level 2 farming and made a decent amount of money for the traveling cart. It was a neutral luck day today, and Mum sent me some cookies. Thank you, Mum. I watered and harvested crops, grabbed some items to later donate to the community center, and then went to check the traveling cart. Unfortunately, she wasn't selling anything particularly good, so I opted to save my money to instead upgrade my pickaxe at Clint's. I then went back to the farm to pick up my copper bars and headed to Clint. I turned in my pickaxe to Clint, which wouldn't be ready for a few days. I also sold him my excess copper bars and refined quartz for a little extra money for strawberries the following day. Then headed to the community center to donate the acorns and maple seeds to the forest bundle in the classroom. So only the 200 fiber remains to complete that one. We're making good progress. Then I headed north to Robin's house to return her lost axe for some additional strawberry money. And I also opted to move Frumpkin's pet bowl for easier access on my farm. I spent most of the rest of the day fishing at the lake and meandering around town. After selling my lake fishing haul, eventually I went to comb the beach and found an oyster I needed for the community center. I was originally looking to make as much money as possible to buy strawberries, but this was a nice surprise. I did some ocean fishing before heading to the community center to donate that oyster I found for the crab pot bundle. I went home, sold my ocean fishing haul, then immediately went to bed. Overnight, I got Foraging Level 4, unlocking the very useful taproot and mushroom log recipes. I also got a solid amount of money, enough for 28 strawberry plants. I tended to my crops and otherwise got my field ready for strawberries while waiting for the egg festival to start. I bought 28 strawberry seeds at the festival, owned the kids and my future wife at the egg hunt getting a straw hat, and headed home to plant my strawberries. At this point, I focused on getting the strawberries planted and watered before I went to bed, and also was somewhat concerned about having enough money for the traveling cart the following day. Well, it turns out my concerns were well-founded since I had only around 500 gold for the traveling cart. But it was a decently lucky day, and when I stepped onto the farm, my wild seeds were ready. I tended to my remaining crops and went to check the traveling cart before buying or selling with Pierre. I headed to Cinderset Forest to check the traveling cart. While she didn't have any edible products for sale, she still had green tea and a cockle, both of which were community center bundle options, which weren't too expensive. I bought the green tea, sold some forageables to Pierre, and returned for the cockle. In the midst of all this, I acquired and planted some more seeds and accepted a quest to slay some green slimes in the mines. Not a bad traveling cart haul, all things considered. Speaking of mining, my copper pickaxe was now ready, so I headed to Clint's to pick it up before he closed. I then made my way to donate some things to the community center and prepare for mining. I donated the cockle to the crab pot bundle, grabbed a cauliflower I'd grown to finish the spring crops bundle as well, getting ourselves some speed grow and unlocking the boiler room bundles. I also donated the green tea to the brewer's bundle. I then went over to check what boiler room bundles we got. They are essentially the same as the normal bundles. After this, I headed up north to the mines. I got an infested floor in the mines filled with green slimes, and since I wasn't able to craft staircases yet, I had to fight them. Surprisingly, because of the help wanted quest I accepted earlier and the fact my energy was low, the infested floor was actually a blessing in disguise since I reached my slime quota with ease. I also found another amethyst, but not the stairs down to floor 10, unfortunately. I then made the mad dash home to get to bed on time before passing out at 2 a.m., and thankfully I did. Overnight, I earned level 3 farming, level 1 combat, and level 2 mining. What a pretty eventful day. That's good. And there are sure to be more eventful days in this challenge run going forward. So if you enjoyed the video at all, please like and subscribe. In addition, we'll have to see what happens next as we head into the latter half of spring. Until then, peace out, guys. Take care for now.